I'll turn this down. This is the start of a head base. It looks a little sad, but it will soon look like this guy. Just a different species. Hello, welcome in. I am from the States, the United States. I'm doing pretty good. Get my, there we go, my hot glue gun. Like, cool it down a little bit before I connect it. I am making a fursuit head. So this guy's in the beginning process stage, and soon it will look similar to this guy, but different species. This guy, the one that I'm working on right now, is going to be a cat. This one is a dog. Thank you. Oh, thank you for subscribing. I'm making a fursuit head base. This one is going to be a cat. Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome in. Gotta move my hot glue gun over. Yeah, I can do a lion or a wolf. I actually have a different head base that is going to be a wolf once I get started on it. These are all going to be fursuit head bases, so all of them are different species. This one doesn't have a face yet, but this guy back here has a face. He's got also, I didn't mention this earlier, but he's got little magnets here, so that will go in one of his tongues, and it will be magnetic on both sides. So he'll have like a regular tongue, and then he'll have a magnetic one. That one's still not done yet. Yeah, he doesn't look like a cat just yet, but he will. He's got his not shaved down muzzle right here. So it will have like the big puffy like cat face when I shave it down. Actually, my hot glue gun base. I need like a little fan. And I do not have. I can just use this one. So fan it off. It's not working. Whatever. Thank you. I actually have a couple of wolves. Personal suits or suits that I have purchased for myself. My favorite one, actually, the grabber, that I got commissioned is my maned wolf half mask. I know technically they're not under the same species as wolves, but this is Crash. I'll go back here. She's one of my favorite ones that I have commissioned for. Thank you. We're going to be working on a couple of things today, actually. Not just heads, but I have to do a tail for this guy, so we have the tail pattern. I have a tail for another guy that I gotta work on, on top of shaping out these ears for the other head base. There's a lot of things that I'm working on today. But we'll start mostly with this guy. I'll readjust. I like to work on the floor. When it comes to cutting out the pieces for the head base. not. Yes. The room is pretty big. This is my basement. I have like this little section. I'm not supposed to go past this little border here, but I have a lot of stuff, so. Cheek is done. I'm all over. I normally go live on TikTok, and I normally let people see my face on TikTok. I've been on the internet far long enough. I'm not big enough to do like a face review, but I understand the dangerous like implications of my face being online. But I do. I typically go live on TikTok. I've only been just recently going live on my YouTube because my TikTok is not being recommended because they shadow banned me for some reason. I think because my username was too close to the official Crash Bandicoot like TikTok page, so I think they did that. The song that just played was Giglio by Baby No Money. Damn, my 10th subscriber. Welcome. Welcome. I'm not doing animations today. Welcome to the live. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan. I hate to break it to you. I'm not a Swiftie. I like her old songs, but I'm not a Swiftie. So I won't, I unfortunately will not play her. I'm so sorry. I should probably actually... I can bring the chat down here. I can put it on my computer, but then y'all won't be able to hear the music. Cheeks done. Damn! Wait, y'all got me to 100? Holy shit, thank you. You could also be straight up lying to me, which is totally fine, but... I still appreciate everybody that comes in and likes to watch my stuff. What are you having for lunch? Oh shit! I did. I just pulled it up on my computer. Damn! Thank you guys. Alright, I'm gonna move. Alright. So I'll be able to see the chat way better when I'm on the floor. I'm gonna move my computer. You guys are on here as well, so I can be able to read chat as I'm down here. I'll raise the music a little bit so it's not as bad. Damn! 105. I appreciate y'all so much. Ooh, there we go. That sounds so good. Oh my god. I am doing pretty good. I actually like going live more on YouTube now than any other platform. But I'm doing pretty good. I hope y'all in the chat are doing really well today as well. Hopefully it's not too cold wherever you are. I know it's pretty cold here. Bro, those Capri Sun boxes are like pains in the ass, for real. They just don't want to come out. I just got myself with the Sharpie. Alright, jaw's done. Soon I'll be off the ground and back up by the phone. All I'm doing now is just cutting out the eyebrow. I hope it's not too foggy that you can't go out anywhere. I know my stuff was calling for fog. I'm supposed to get fog when I go on my little adventures skiing, but hopefully it's no longer foggy when I go skiing. Alright. I am both. I like animals and I do enjoy anime from time to time. Anime mostly being like JJK and whatnot. Yeah, I like wolves. I like the conservation efforts of wolves, like trying to get those guys to stay like not endangered and whatnot. The biggest thing for me is like Maine wolves are endangered. I believe they're either critically or one of the something with Maine wolves are some degree level of endangered, and I like to try to educate people to kind of help those guys out. I'm just a Maine wolf enthusiast. I am making a cat right now. Oh wow, it's 7 in the morning for you? Whoa! I thought I was going at a horrible time because it's 10 o'clock, 10:18 here. I was like, I'm going at a really bad time. A lot of people are already going to be either in school or at work. Sometimes I forget time zones are indeedly a thing. Hello, hello, welcome in. Hey, Finn. I figured go have fun at your classes. I can definitely attempt to make a protogen. I do not have the materials to make a face mask, let alone some of the actual like parts of a protogen. But I can definitely make like a foam based head one. Sorry, my scissors squeak uncontrollably. I need to put like WD-40 on these bad boys, but I have not done it yet. Called a foam is that it sticks to you everywhere. Oh no. And it likes to fly away. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh. No! It's everywhere. There we go. I'm making a little kitty cat. I'm cutting out all of the foam head pieces before I actually put them on the face. And I tend to carve out some of the pieces actually before they get glued onto the main base. So you'll see that once I cut everything out. I'm making a head base. It's going to be a kitty cat. We'll start with trimming down the muzzle once I finish cutting everything else out and gluing it. That is a big word that I don't know the meaning of. Actually, I feel like I should, but then again. And again, I make fursuits as a side hobby. Hello, Hello Kitty. Is that also your username? Oh, yeah. Welcome in. I have every hobby known to mankind in my arsenal, I guess you could say, of things that I like to do. Like you can see on this channel that mostly what I've started doing was just animating and doing stuff of that nature, and then now I'm live streaming my other stuff. I do plan on actually like putting tutorials on here. I'm not always the best at trying to teach, but I do want to teach others how to make this stuff because it is very fun to make. It's very time consuming, but as you can see, I'm saving all of these scraps because scrap foam because one, I can use them to smooth out parts, and two, they can be used as stuffing for tails. However, they just don't like to go in the box because they don't like foam for some reason. I'm just a silly little guy that likes to craft stuff, and I'm now crafting things for others. Fun stuff about fursuit making. Now, what I'm going to do is, because I'm sick of walking back and forth, this is my cordless hot glue gun. So I'm actually going to bring it all the way over here. so that I don't have to walk back and forth very often. And plug it into my extension cord. There we go. I highly recommend getting back into it, like crafting, whether it be something super simple or something like insane. It's a nice stress reliever. Then you make fun stuff. Hello, Anna. Welcome in. Ah. It's gonna be. Oh god, oh god. There we go. I don't know how the jaw got smaller. I might have to redo it. Go with the jaw last. Which means that can be used. Okay, well then. Yep. I'll make the jaw last. I am making a fursuit. We're on the fun stage, where you're gonna hear this squeak like crazy, but we're trimming down the face, the muzzle. I haven't cut my fingers, but I have like completely like stabbed myself with like the pointy side of the scissor, or when I'm sewing, I get myself with the needle a lot. I am making a cat fursuit head, so it's gonna look it's gonna look a little sad right now until I get all the pieces on it. Thank you. This is like the worst part because there's so much like foam on the ground. I can actually just move the camera down a little bit more so you can actually see me. Thank you. Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome in. I'm making a cat fursuit head. Welcome back. It's so nice. So far, I'm only just carving out the muzzle. What species is the one that you're making? Yeah, yours. I love hearing what others are making. I hate this part. There we go. love lynxes and fennec foxes. The ears are always the hard part, especially like I'm struggling currently on some ears for a different suit. I have another head base that's almost done. And these are what the ears are looking like, but they're too big. They're supposed to be like floppy ears, so like this would just be the bottom base of it, so I have to trim these down like an insane amount. This is the other head base that I have done-ish. I just have to smooth it out a little bit more. Queen Storma. Oh, that's so cute. They're like, I don't know how, like I've always struggled with ears, and I don't know how I did it the last time with my personal suits, but I like make them too big. Thank you. Alright, let's glue the nose on. Or the muzzle. Hello, hello. This one actually all the way back here, it's a Fursuit half mask. I'll actually grab it while this glue dries a little bit. I got it commissioned of my fursona. So it is built just like a Therian mask, but it's more fursuit-y, like. Now we're stuck here. Thank you. I'm actually getting another mask by that same maker for a different one of my OCs that I connect with a lot. I love their work so much. Periwinkle Sundries on Instagram is the person who made it, if you're interested in her work. My supplies all over, so most of the foam is either from Foam Factory when Joann's was still in business, where this green foam comes from, or where the other 1-inch foam comes from is Walmart. Oh, her name is Crash, so it's the same thing as me. This is my fursona. So I'm Crash, she's Crash. And then the second suit that I have that I'm getting done is Stella. So it's more like a, I mean, like, she'll be a fursuit, but more of like a cosplay-ish kind of thing. It's not sticking. It's my little hedgehog. There it is. Oh, dude, I got a new hot glue gun. This one's cordless because I'm so sick of having the cord on it. This thing hurts. Like, I've gotten it on me so many times, and youch. So the ones that I'm currently making on are for clients, so for others. I will make like personal suits. I do have a couple personal suits that I want to create, but the majority of my work right now is for others. Thank you. Dude, I love the dragon puppets. I physically don't know how y'all can make them, but they're so freaking good. I love them. I just smushed the head. Alright. Let's put the... See, it keeps popping out, and I don't know why it's doing that. I don't think I've dried all the way yet. This is like the worst part, is waiting for this stuff to dry. I can actually pull up the reference sheet for this guy, because I do have it on my computer. As I poorly shove butterfly pins into this to keep the muzzle on. Looks a little Springtrap-ish, but there we go. Hello, hello. I don't know a lot of characters from Dandy's world. I've seen them like pop up on my pages, but the pins are... I'm always afraid, so I use pins to hold down my stuff. Like, at least, like, for the fursuiting stuff, and then, or, like, the heads. But I'll use pins for, like, making the, hand paws and putting the paw pads on them. I'm always so afraid I'm going to leave a pin, even though I use the butterfly ones, because you can see them better. Or I use the bright pink sewing pins that I've had for years. But I'm still so afraid that I'm just gonna, like, one day forget a pin is in here. It's, like, in the head or something. Hello, hello. Let me actually pull up the little guy that we're making right now. Alright, guys. We are making this little guy. This is what we're making. He's a little alien cat. I'm an animator, and then I also make fursuits. I actually have some animations that should be done soon that I will be posting. I've been lacking on my animations recently. You got punctured by a nail? What the hell were you doing? Oh my god. I've always wanted to try needle felting, but I don't like the feeling sometimes of felt. Punctured a nail. Ugh. Ow. Youch. I have gotten myself, actually, I have a little cut from it. I have an itty bitty little cut on my finger from when I did pierce myself with one of the, like, one of the sewing needles. I mostly use curved needles for my work, so, like, it does hurt. Ugh. Ouch. I have gotten myself a couple times, actually, not with my sewing machine needle, but with the foot. The end of the foot will snap down on my finger, and that hurts tremendously. I've heard of catnap. I don't remember which one he is. I'm a little up to date with the newer trends, a little. Yeah, my commissions are going to be reopening in May, most likely. I also might reopen them earlier, but I can actually put in the chat my website for y'all. The current prices right now are what are up to date. I think the only thing that might change is dependent on my head price, but I think I'm at a good point right now for the fact that I'm still very small on what my heads will look like. That's what my website is. You've come to the right place to learn how to make fursuit heads. Because I am also tweaking on how to make these, even though I've learned a new way to do them. See, this one looks this one actually looks much better than, or it looks a little different than what my other one looks like, because the cheek is much closer to it. the muzzle for the cat thing. I would start with foam. If this is your first time working with like making suits and whatnot, I would say your best bet is to start with foam. Foam is a little more forgiving than 3D. 3D is easier to tape and do all that jazz, but you then will have to figure out how to do the... Oh no, I got glue on my scissor. Where's my hedgehog? Carving is your free-for-all. So your biggest thing is trying to figure out like the patterns, and I'll actually show you, because as I pin this, I will make a base for another head that I have to work on. So I'll show you what I do when I need to figure out how to do the face shapes. So let me just stab 14 billion butterfly pins into this thing. And it'll sit like that for now. Let me get, you're gonna want craft paper. If you have a mannequin, you're gonna want to trace out the mannequin, like silhouette. If you don't have a mannequin, that's totally fine. You can trace out a silhouette of your own head. We're going to then want, I'm gonna just try to find my mannequin head base pattern. From the beginning then. I don't know where my little pattern went. But sorry, this is gonna like there we go. Gonna sound awful taking that off. Ow! Staggy. Okay. So, what I like to do, so I'll take my mannequin. I like that, And this can be like a very, very rough outline. Now my mannequin's head, it is a 23-inch head. You just kind of... gonna look a little sad. I do have a pattern for this. Do I know where it is? Hell no. So it looks a little sad. That's fine. I don't know how to spell mannequin either. So without a mannequin head, I use a modified pattern of Fursuit's head base. So Fursuit is a great fursuit maker that has a bucket head base that they kind of give to others. I don't remember how much it is, but it's on Etsy. I will write their name in the chat. That is Fursuit. Fursuit is what I use, their head base pattern. It's a nice pattern. You just print it out and you can make a bucket head based off of that. The reason why I modify it is I modify how the straps are attached depending on the length of the client's head or whoever. So this is what I use as the front part, and then the top part of it is modified. Which video of mine have you watched before? It's very hard to think that I'm also an animator, because I mostly live stream my fursuits. I don't live stream my art that much anymore. I probably will get back into it because I have some PNG tuber stuff that I want to try out, but oh shit, yeah. Probably an old one of mine. Alright, let me grab my reference sheet. So, the face that I will now be making as my demonstration face will be this guy. He is a wolf. So we're gonna do the little face shapes that I do. Ah! Sorry. Caught y'all. There we go. So, you can see the there we go. If you can see how it looks on here. Get my eye shape pattern. So I have a pattern for how my eyes look on my suit. So I'll draw a rough outline of what my eye will look like. Make it a little more defined. Then you have the eye shape. Make him a little bug-eyed, that's fine. Oh my god. Anyways, so now you're looking at your reference and you're thinking to yourself, how do I want to make this face look like what it's supposed to look like? So a lot of stuff won't actually go to the far back of the head. Like, you'll see on this guy, a lot of the face just cuts off here, because then I'll add the cheek fluff, and then I'll smooth it out to the back. So nothing really goes from, like, this point of the head back. So when you're drawing the pattern down on the paper, you're kind of cutting off right before you hit the back of the head bulb. So since this guy's a wolf, I want his nose to kind of go out far, but not stay, you know, too much. Sometimes what I like to do is I'll pull up a photo of a wolf. Do I know the exact species he is? No. But, you know, wolf noses are a little more brick-like. So that's the rough nose shape that I have for it. Foxes, you want their noses to be a little longer and a little more like slim and triangular. Because when you kind of look at a fox face on, it's kind of hard to see how their face looks, but when you look at them from the side, you can see that the fox's nose kind of curves a little bit more. So like for yours, you'd want it to probably go from like the top here and go all the way a little thinner. It's also a stylization kind of thing. It's how you want your suit to kind of look. I try to get mine as close as I can to looking like the species. And like, this guy's a green, blue, and white wolf. You're not gonna see that in the real world, but you're gonna see something similar in the sense of the face shape has to be more wolf-like than dog or cat or something of that nature, you know? A lot of it's based off of how you want it to look like versus, you know, what it's actually going to look like. Exactly. It's all about creativity and how much you want it to look just like the species or not like the species. So, like, that's what I ask a lot of my clients. I'm like, how close do you want it to be like the species? Because I can make it pretty close to it. It's not going to look exactly realistic because I do not do realism suits, but it can get very close to it. I do. He's not done yet, but this one's a dog. He just needs his ears. Once the ears get on him, then he's going to look like a dog. Right now, he just kind of looks sad. It's kind of all how you want your suit to look like and all of that nature. When I remake, I have a monster suit, which is just my persona with inverted colors. Once I remake him, he's not going to look like any of his stuff. Like, he's supposed to look like a main wolf, but he's not going to look like one because he's a monster. So it's like there's that creativity aspect that you have. So, when it comes to making the chin, kind of like the jaw, that's what the jaw is going to look like. This is an insane song that's currently playing. But there's a little smile here. You're not going to always see the smile until the end of the product, which is after you add all the fur and then you add the little lining. Like the gum lining, I think it's called. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But once you kind of get to the ending process of it, then you'll see the smile more, and then you can make it more like accentuated in a sense. I need a longer glue stick for my thing. For my glue gun. There we go. So when it comes to making the cheek, yeah, I'll most likely actually make like a head-based tutorial video once I figure out which suit I want it to be which suit would like to take the initiative into it, but that's a little low for that, but that's fine. am currently just drafting out a pattern for another head base. I'm not going to be working on this head base today, but I'm just drafting up the pattern for it. This one I'm actually going to add the nose bridge to it, even though I'm not going to actually make it. But alright, that's what that's going to look like. Hello, hello. Welcome in. So now we'll take the craft paper, run away with it. That's what the patterning will look like for the next one. That will live over there. Hello, hello, thank you. Back to this guy. This one's going to be a cat, more like an alien cat. The exact species of cat or breed, I do not know. The only part of it that's considered dangerous is gluing yourself with the hot glue. That stuff hurts tremendously, I would know. And the faux fur, when you shape it down, that's dangerous because it's microplastics. If you were using real fur, there's a little less of that chance, but you still don't want to inhale real fur because of groomer's lung. Not a lot of suits are made with real fur. That's the other thing, so there's not a lot of tutorial on how to make stuff with real fur, but it's truly just how you see it. Sharpie fumes is also pretty dangerous. I have an air purifier going on right now. I use Sharpie to outline everything, so that's kind of a little dangerous. Hello, Riley or Rusty, welcome in. It's just like how you look at it. There are parts of making suits that makes it pretty dangerous, but if you have the proper materials and the proper face coverings, you can limit your chances to certain things. I do. I got my purifier going, and then my basement itself is pretty ventilated, and I can keep the door, I don't keep the door open right now, but when like summertime and stuff comes around, I keep the big door out into the garage pretty much open. And I take a lot of breaks. I'll be like, all right, see ya, and I'll go upstairs and run outside. I currently don't do that now because it's like -2 out. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Welcome in. As I just like stab myself with hot glue. No worries, it was dried. We're good. Hopefully when I move to a different place, I will actually have a, like an office-ish space. I eat all the other fursuit makers that go live on here. No, kidding. I don't know how many other fursuit makers go live on here. The furring for, wait, let me go down below one first. Most of my supplies, so this green foam came from Joann Fabrics before it exploded. My 1.5 inch and 1 1/4 inch foam that I use mostly for my head base, like the bucket itself, comes from Foam Factory. It's foambymail.com. My 1 inch foam comes from Walmart. It's your typical craft foam. You can also get this foam off of Amazon, or I think Michael's also sells it. Hobby Lobby most likely sells it as well. These are all stuff for the States. If you're out of state, I don't have a list on me, but I do know somebody that does make a giant list of it. Fur. All of my fur, or minky, or whatever, so everything that lives in this little white, awesome. I don't know why it keeps doing that. I have a really good catching. Anyways, all of my fur that lives in these little compartments here are either from Hal Fabrics or Big Z. I don't buy from Fursuit Supplies. I think Fursuit Supplies, even though they have great quality, they're a little more expensive, and I don't want to raise my prices anymore if I'm still just starting out as a maker. I might invest in Fursuit Supplies fur because it is really nice, but As of right now, I don't. My eyes and everything are EVA foam, so like I'll get some EVA foam. I try to do the 5mm thickness, or 5 or 3mm thickness, depending on what you're using it for. My eyes are the 3mm, and then ears and such will be 5mm. What else do I use? My lining comes from Big Z. It's Techno Neoprene. I actually have one right here. I also use this Techno stuff for teeth. It's nice, it's squishy, it's nice and breathable, and it's a little stretchy. So there's that. You always want to pre-wash it, especially if you're using white. You don't want to use black neoprene, because then it'll stain. So you always want to wash your neoprene before you actually put it in the head. I'm trying to think what else. Hot glue and everything comes from Amazon. It's easier to bulk buy. For the furring stage, that's the pray. That's the close your eyes and pray that everything works out in the end. So always add a seam allowance. That is what screwed me up the first time. Always add a seam allowance when you do your fur. So you taped out your whole pattern on your face, all of that jazz. Awesome, cool. Now you're on the furring stage. Make sure that you have at most a 1.5 inch seam allowance, at least 1.25 inch. And I recommend hand sewing your, like, the face and doing one side at a time. And then sew it all together and then slowly put it back on your face, like on the face of it, and glue as you like smooth out and put it on. So it's like